Welcome back to Good Day State Line. It is Tuesday, even though it feels like Monday, it's Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday Trends tonight, continuing with the Bias Sisters from BW Events. So, grazing table. This is something that you guys do in addition to the decor, very popular.
Yes.
Snacks are important. And you're going to tell us kind of how we can do this at home ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our biggest thing about it is we want to keep it simple and approachable.
Okay.
You know, because not everybody's like, you know, wants like a real
Gourmet.
stinky cheese or like a real, no, for real, you know, but like you want to keep it approachable. So we always kind of go into it that way unless they're like real big cheese lovers and they're like, hey, you know, can you make it a little more elevated? And then we're like, of course. But for the most part, we try to keep it simple and approachable. So we go with a variety of different meats. So we've got salamis, prosciuttos. We do a little variety of cheese. We like to go with like a hard cheese, a soft cheese, you know, something a little more pungent. So right now we've got like a brie. We've got this goat cheese honey.
Goat cheese honey, mozzarella.
Some mozzarella balls. This is a nice white cheddar. You know, and it's about also evening it out. You know, giving a little bit of something on every surface.
Yeah.
You know. Take it away.
Yep, so these surfaces are obviously a little bit smaller. Sometimes we do table size all across.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that we're able to give a little bit of the taste on each side. So I always like sweet with sharp. So like for instance, that's why we put raspberries with the sharp cheese because it gives you a little bit of both flavors. Over here, chocolate with like the honey goat cheese is actually pretty good, guys. Just saying, gotta try it.
Yeah, don't be scared to like play around too. Like, you know, we try to set it up.
Play around with the flavors.
Yeah, play around with the flavors. You know, like right here, we try to play around with like our different jams and like spreads. Today we did a peach Bellini spread. Yeah, so you know, just kind of get a little different flavor.
And the crackers have like a spice to them.
Yep, some of the crackers, like these crisp right here, they were like punch.
Cheddar and spice.
Cranberries?
It was like, cheddar spice cranberry.
You know,
interesting. Different.
It's an easy way to impress your guests because you didn't make any of this. Right?
No. It's all packaged. We just unpackaged it.
That is arguably the best part about this for everyone. Because it's like you invite people over and then you're just like, oh my God, I gotta feed everybody unless I'm a bad host.
I gotta make a dip.
Yeah, I gotta make a dip or I gotta figure something out and like, what does everybody like?
Yeah.
You know, really the biggest, you know, roadblock you get to here is like allergies, vegetarians. So then, you know, you just gotta be conscious, you know, either make a separate board for the vegans or vegetarians or make sure your meats aren't touching your fruits and your cheeses. You know, try to be conscious of those sorts of things. And like we always ask like different allergies or do you want to avoid something, you know, totally.
Something you won't eat.
Yeah, is there something you definitely won't eat or you know that your guests won't eat? And for the most part, people are like, throw it all on there. Let's see, you know?
Okay. So how many people would this serve?
It's about 10 to 15.
Yeah, 10 to 15. You know, we like to play around with the levels to kind of like up, down it. But yeah, we would say about 10 to 15. Honestly, and probably even a little more, just depending on like how you
much
guys
each person eats.
How much each person eats. But let me tell you something. Always more than less.
Yes, that's
always more. There is nothing more traumatizing than not having enough for your guests.
Yeah.
Because then they're looking at you like, you invited me over? And you're just like, I did. My bad.
I didn't invite you.
You know, you're just like, oh my, that was me. You know,
that was my idea.
Literally. And then it's all about the presentation, right? So we're talking about like simple, approachable things. Just fold up the little salam, you know? You just
so speaking of, tell me about the roast.
Let me tell you, you have no idea how many YouTube videos and TikToks and stuff, but then you got it. Ready?
Yeah.
The trick is finding something with like a very small to medium like mouth. And essentially all you do is just kind of fold it in. Fold it, obviously make sure it's clean. Yeah, and then you just kind of layer it. And then when you flip it out, you get your roast.
Yep, that's awesome.
That's it, and you can, and depending on how big or small your opening is. Is salami
the best meat to do that with?
Yes. Pepperoni's also very good.
Also really good.
Yes, your prosciutto.
I feel like it has to be thick enough.
Yes, it's got to have like a nice like
the prosciutto
firmness.
Won't stay. It'll
Prosciutto's good for like, you know, we call them little ribbons or little like little you know like bloop, little sticks, you know, because it like loses its form a little bit more. Whereas you know, with the salami and the pepperoni, you can wrap it around cheese, you can fold it like so, you can give it the little salami.
I feel like it's just so impressive too, though, like versus putting things out in bowls.
Yeah, that's also a different approach to it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's all about the presentation. This, you know, people look at it and oh my God, it's so fancy, and like, but it's really not. No, just cut up a little cheese, got a little cracker, some fresh fruit is always nice. Sometimes you can add some dry fruit. It's all about different combinations and playing around and being adventurous. And
a nice big microphone.
Yes, gonna come off across very nicely.
Very delicious.
You know, sometimes we do a little more crudité, so we'll do a little more veggies. Yeah. But really, it's all about you, your guest, and what.
And just going for it.
And just going for it. Let me tell you something. Very rarely are people gonna be like, yeah, I'm just not gonna eat that food you left out for me. I'm serious. Like, you know, like people like to
No,
eat,
they're
and very rarely someone they might go home and be like, that sucks.
News.
Yeah.
More, you're gonna
like
eat it.
to eat.
People like to eat, you know, and like they might go home and be like, oh, that food wasn't the best. But let me tell you something, to your face, they're gonna eat it. And you wanna have snacks. Don't be that person that doesn't have snacks.
No, that's good. And these things you can get anywhere, right?
Yes. Oh, that's the funnest part. I mean, listen.
Yeah, so we source them from all sorts of places, but Target, dollar section, I'm not even gonna lie, guys, that's where most of these like
Oh, yeah.
risers and it's just where you gotta go.
IKEA.
IKEA,
Listen, just like start roaming around.
Home
and-
Goods.
Home Goods. Oh yeah.
Michael's.
you'll find all
Grandma's
sorts of stuff.
house.
your grandma's house.
Your grandma's house. You would be surprised. Sometimes the moms and the grandmas have really nice china or
Yeah,
like
really nice
different plates.
displays.
Depending on the theme or the time of day,
Yeah.
we play around with the sorts of baskets and risers that we use. Because, you know, a brunch spread is going to be different than a spread that we do for like a cocktail hour at
Sure.
a wedding.
Yep.
So that also depends, you know, we put different florals or different little baskets, and it's all about just playing around.
See,
guys.
and I love it too because like I do look at this and I think, okay, maybe I could do it, but I also like to know that I could just call you because
Yes.
at some point in my life I just didn't want to do anything anymore. I think it was when I turned 30.
I feel like that.
I was like, oh no, I call them?
Yes.
That sounds better.
Yes.
You know what you're doing.
Oh, thank you
Yes.
so
Plus,
much.
I feel like all this stuff would fall. But no, you got it. Balance
It falls
act.
a lot of the time.
All right, remind everyone where we can follow you, how we can book you for October.
Yes, no, please, July, August, September, October, whenever, call us, beep us. But BW Event and Decor on Facebook, Instagram, and our email, buyasworkshop@gmail.com.
Yeah, and it's cool. You can just scan that flow code with your phone too. Isn't that awesome?
Nice.
That is
so cool.
technology, you guys.
Technology.
Listen.
Yeah, if you've seen any trends on social media we should try, we should talk about, you can send them to us on Facebook or GDS at Fox 39 too. We'll be right back.